Namaskar. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing very well. Hope the lessons that I have been sharing with you, or the concepts or the understandings that I have been sharing with you for the last few days have been helpful for you all. Today we are again going to learn something new, something very different from what we have been learning so far. Today we are going to learn about how we can make a very basic, or rather a very introductory pattern of practice into an advanced one. Now I know that the practices that are very basic, or that are just given to the beginners, they are very easy. Now what happens is, after practicing it for some time, for a while, maybe a month or two, even the beginners, they start feeling bored. So in order to find those practices interesting and at the same time help those practices do their needful on your voice, we can enhance or take our practice to the next level in these ways. So let's begin our lesson today. Now, if you have noticed that when we begin learning, we are given certain basic practices like sa, 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 re, re, ga, ga, ma, ma, pa, pa, dha, dha, ni, ni, sa, 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 ni, ni, dha, dha, pa, pa, ma, ma, ga, ga, re, re, sa, sa. Another one can be sa, re, re, ga, ga, ma, ma, pa, pa, dha, dha, ni, ni, sa, sa, ni, ni, dha, dha, pa, pa, ma, ma, ga, ga, re, re, sa. Similarly, another one that is given is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Now these practices are very basic. So what happens is, once the beginner who has been given these lessons, they start practicing it, and then this becomes a part of their practice every day, they are very easily able to sing these practices or these combinations. Now, because these combinations are very easy and very basic, now what happens is, after a while, these combinations, they tend to no longer appeal to the one who is learning. So what happens is, the children specifically, they start losing interest in their practice. So how can you enhance their practice and at the same time help them to grow more in learning music? Okay, the very basic part is, we are going to improvise on these particular combinations, on these particular patterns. Now for example, I'm going to take one particular pattern and I'm going to improvise them accordingly to the next few steps, and I hope you will be able to do those practices on your own as well, and make your own combinations or improvise on the combinations that you all are practicing now. This tutorial is specifically meant to help the beginners and the children who have been practicing on one particular, or maybe a few particular combinations for a long while, and you are not finding it at all interesting anymore. So you can make your own patterns, you can improvise on these basic patterns and make your practices more entertaining and exciting. I'm going to show you how. The sargam or alankar, as we call it, that I'm going to use is, the basic one is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Now this particular sargam is based on teen tal, because sa re ga ma pa a. That is, we are breaking each and every part of the combination into 4 beats. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. We can break it in this way. The practice is going to be in teen tal, and you can add rhythm to it, but when you are beginning with your practices, do keep the rhythm slower, that is at least 110 or 115 or maybe 120. With time and with practice, you can increase the speed as well. Ha, sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to sing 2 notes on each beat in order to make it a bit more improvised. How are we going to do that? Sa re ga. So what am I doing? I am singing sa re ga a. So the combination goes like this: sa re ga a re ga ma pa a. So even if I am saying pa, that is, I am using pa a. That is, I am singing 2 pas, one with the note pa and the other one with an a. So the combination becomes a bit more interesting. So what does it become now? Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. So let's sing it once more. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Now when you improvise or you sing an advanced combination, what is important is you remember that each and every note should be sung as a distinct note. That is, there should be no impression of the other note that you are singing before or after that particular note. For example, sa re ga. Here, sa should sound like sa, re should sound like re, and ga should also sound like ga. It shouldn't sound like sa re ga. That is where the impression of the other notes are coming in. Because this is a particular practice, a practice to train your voice, there should not be any impression of the other notes that are before or after a particular note. Sa re ga ma pa ma pa dha dha, pa dha ni ni, dha ni sa sa, sa ni dha dha, ni dha pa dha pa ma pa ma ga ga re ga re sa sa. Okay. Now for the next step, we are going to improvise a bit more on this particular combination. It will be like sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. So what am I doing now? Sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa. So on each note I am singing two notes, and the last one I am keeping it with an a. Sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. So let's take it once more. Sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. Now this particular practice only, what you can do is you can sing in another way as well. That is sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. That is instead of saying sa re ga ma pa, I am saying sa re ga ma pa pa. Okay, I am repeating the note twice. So sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. You can take a deep breath at first and do the entire practice, or you can skip one or two notes and take a small and short breath in between. If you do not if you are not able to continue the entire combination in one breath, you can always take short breaths by skipping one or two notes in between. How you are going to do that? I'll show you once more. Sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. So I skipped one dhapa and I took a short breath there, and I continued with the combination. You will be able to keep in rhythm, you will be able to stay in the beat and continue with the practice. If you have a shortcoming in keeping along with the beat, keeping along with a particular rhythm, this is a practice that you can always do. That is, you start with the rhythm, and while keeping in the rhythm, you take small short breaths by skipping one or two notes. Sa re ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa dha ni ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. So I am skipping pa ma ga re. There I am skipping a pa ma and I am taking a short breath there, and then I am continuing with the combination. I am very sure in this way, if you practice, you will be able to stay in rhythm, keep in beat, and you will no longer face the trouble of losing the pace or losing the beat or not being able to stay in rhythm. Now for the next and the last step that we can take on this particular practice, that is sa re ga ma pa pa. Sare sare ga ma pa pa. Now be very careful when you're combining in this way. You have to stay in rhythm. So remember that the beat in Teen Tal is, or the rhythm in Teen Tal is 4-4-4-4. So each and every note has to be sung, or has to be divided in such a way that you get that division of 4-4-4-4, because it's a 16 matras tal. Sare sare ga ma pa pa, re ga ma pa dha, ga ma pa dha ni, ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma, ni dha pa ma ga, dha pa ma ga re, pa ma ga re sa. So let's do this once more. Sare ga ma pa pa, re ga ma pa dha, ga ma pa da ni, ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma, ni dha pa ma ga, dha pa ma ga re, pa ma ga re sa. Now what happens when you start singing 2 notes at a time, or you improvise on particular patterns, the rhythm or the pace at which you are singing, it automatically increases. So when you are beginning your practice, you need to keep at a lower beat. That is why I told you that please keep to a beat of 110 or maybe 115 or 120 when you begin your practice. Okay, so now let us practice in rhythm. Okay, sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. So this was the first one. The next one, that is the next improvisation, goes like this. Sa re ga ma pa ma pa dha ni dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Now I have sung this in a slower version. Now when I am going to sing 2 notes on one beat, it will sound something like this. Sare ga ma pa dha ni ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Now the other one will be sare ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Sare ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ga re sa. Sare ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ma ga re sa sa. This is how you can stay in rhythm. At the same time, take short breaths and complete the practice. Now, if you want, you can go at a higher pace. Sari sari ga ma ma pa pa ma pa da da pa ni ni da ni sa 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 ni da ni da ma pa da ma ma pa ma ga re sa sa. Sari sari ga ma ma pa ma pa da da ni ni da ni sa 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 ni da ni da ma pa da ma pa ga re sa sa. You can practice the ah ones as well, that is the vowel ah, on this particular practice and take it to a faster level so that you have a very interesting practice, a very highly improvised practice in such a case. Sari sari ga ma ma pa pa da da ni ni da ni sa sa ni da ni da ma pa da ma ga re sa sa. Now for the next one, sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa. Sa ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. That is, we are singing it at a more improvised level. Sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa sa ni dha pa ma dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. Sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa sa ni dha pa ma dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa. Now the alternative version that you can sing is sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa sa. Sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa sa. Sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa sa. Sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa sa. Now the last step is sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa sa. Now this last one again you can sing in two different ways. I'll show you how. Sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa sa. Sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa sa. Sari sari ga ma pa re ga ma pa dha ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa sa. Sa ni dha pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ma ga re sa sa. The other way is sa re ga sa re ga sa re ga ma pa pa re ga ma re ga ma re ga ma pa dha dha ga ma pa pa da ni ni ma pa da ma pa da ni sa sa ni da sa ni da pa ma ni dha pa ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa sa. Sa re ga sa re ga ma pa pa re ga ma pa dha dha ga ma pa da ni ni ma pa da ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ni dha pa ma ga dha pa ma ga re pa ma ga re sa sa. So in this way you can build your own improvisations on the basic sargams, on the basic alankars that you have been practicing, and you can make your own advanced alankars for practice. So it's very important that you think with your entire mind, body and soul. You start thinking on each and every combination on your own and do not depend on anyone. The teacher is there to guide you. The teacher will show you how, but you can always improvise on your own. You can always build your own patterns so that the exercises that you are given become way more interesting and you find a lot of interest and entertainment in your own practices. It's very important to find entertainment and to enjoy one's own practices, because practices that we do daily, they tend to become a bit boring. We tend to lose interest in practicing the daily practices that we are usually given. So it's very important that we think, we enhance our capacity to understand, to visualize music in every form in front of us. If you can understand the combination that is given to you, if you are able to understand the movements, it's very easy to build your own patterns and improvise on the basic patterns that you have been given for practices. Hope you all will enjoy the practice. Hope you all will be able to understand what I have just told you. Thank you all for watching my videos. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment box below for me to know how much you are enjoying the practices. Take care. We will meet once again in some other video with some other practices. Till then, keep singing, keep practicing and keep learning. Namaskar.